If you were given a chance to explore Mars, what would you visit? No worries if you're clueless, we can help you out because the Red Planet offers a lot of extremely unique places. Be a volcano lover, a man of science, or a UFO freak, the Martian world will take your breath away. We're giving you our word for it. Elon Musk's dream to make humans a multi-planetary species is looking more realistic by the day. Backed by his team of scientists at SpaceX and some very cordial partnerships with NASA, the billionaire hopes to get this done within his lifetime. And thankfully, it's an all-inclusive plan that could see ordinary humans join Elon Musk and his team of visionaries on the plane to Mars. But the billionaire's grand plan is so much more than a one-time visit. It involves staying on the planet long-term and building a sustainable colony that would see humans adopt the Martian world as our own new home and making it a very unique destination for interplanetary tourism. Just in case you're one of the lucky candidates that makes it on the flight to Mars, here are the coolest places to consider visiting. Forget Kilimanjaro and Mount Everest. If you ever make it to Mars, the first place you want to visit is Olympus Mons. With a height of 13.5 miles, Olympus is the most extreme and tallest volcano in our solar system, nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest, which ranks as the tallest mountain on Earth. For perspective, the mountain is about the same size as the state of Arizona, and big enough to fit all the volcanoes in Hawaii. Scientists say the gigantic shield volcano was formed when lava sluggishly crawled down its slopes, meaning it should be an easy climb for Martian explorers, especially because its average slope is roughly about 5%. The list of activities one can do on Olympus Mons is quite endless. Standing on this iconic volcano will give the Martian tourists the very best view of the Red Planet. It could also be the perfect spot to reflect to their long journey from Earth to Mars, and probably to witness one of the most beautiful things a human can ever witness. Once they're done with the benediction, it might be a good time to peek into the distance and explore some of the other unique volcanoes within the Tharus region. Hopefully they will not be in a hurry because this region spreads across 4,000 kilometers or 2,500 miles, accommodating a total of 12 volcanoes, including Olympus Mons, Valles Mons, and Arsia Mons. Expectedly, most of these volcanoes are many times bigger than the ones we have on Earth, and according to researchers in the field, some of them may have been formed as far back as 2 billion years ago. This region is the perfect place to visit for everyone, but will provide extraordinary experience for volcano lovers. After all, it's the Iceland of the Red Planet. What a privilege to view! If you're not fond of volcanoes, the biggest canyon that exists within our solar system might do the trick. It's the Valles Marinaris. Located to the west of Hydrotes and measuring 1,850 miles in length and 120 miles in width, Valles Marinaris is as lengthy as the distance between New York and Los Angeles, and 4 times longer than the 500-mile-long Grand Canyon. Scientists can't tell exactly how the valley came to be, but it's believed that the formation of the Tharus region played a huge role in it. Although its genesis remains a mystery as of today, that's not to say the site will not impress you. Its incredible 4.3 miles depth will give every Earthling a view they will never forget. As a tourist of Mars, the North and South Poles are 2 places that will pique your fancy. Both regions are icy, but made of slightly different components. The mixture of water ice and dry ice in the north end of things is bigger than the state of Texas in the United States. Much of the exploration work on the North Pole was carried out by the Phoenix lander in 2008. Drifting quickly towards the south, you'll definitely need to make a quick stop at the Cassi Valley, which is an enormous chasm about 5 times longer and 10 times wider than the Grand Canyon. The observations here are mostly facilitated by NASA's orbiting space probes. In 2018, one of these cosmic exploration devices found evidence of a liquid lake beneath the ice cap at the South Pole, which further strengthens that Mars just might be able to support the existence of complex life. Scientists postulate that this mystery lake is made up mostly of salt water, so if you're fortunate enough to visit this unique site, you might be very close to the remains of life on Mars, or even the flourishing yet haven't discovered one. Another cool spot on the Red Planet is the Marth Valles. It's a mysterious valley that offers perhaps more entertainment than most of the Martian sites we've explored so far. The main attraction of the Marth Valles is the multicolored layers of clay, which experts believe were deposited many centuries ago as Mars evolved towards a frosty, dry climate. Nonetheless, scientists believe that it's another evidence that liquid water and complex life existed on Mars in ancient times. All the more reason to pay a visit there. Imagine the view you'd get wandering the site among the beautiful cosmic colors. And who knows, you might be the first one ever to find that little fossilized flower on Mars. Another area that holds extensive evidence of past water, and maybe past life, is the Gale Crater. The region that is sometimes called the Happy Face Crater was hugely publicized during the landing of the Curiosity rover in 2012. Within weeks of exploring the site, the Curiosity rover began sharing some of its findings with us, which includes a stream bed and more convincing evidence of water around the crater floor. Following in the footsteps of this iconic robotic explorer, you might want to visit another interesting site known as Mount Sharp or the Olympus Mons. According to scientists, this region is home to complex organic molecules and rocks that were formed shortly after the formation of the planet around 3.5 billion years ago. Formed around 500 million years ago, the Meduse fosse would be a perfect spot to visit if you wish to witness and learn about one of the most unique historical places that the planet offers. This region is divided into 3 subunits that are all considered to be of Amazonian age, the youngest era in Martian geological history, and is 1/5 the size of the United States. For alien lovers, this site is a must, as some theorists believe that aliens crash-landed into the Meduse fosse many years ago, and for all they know, some of them may still be around. So be careful while you're having your little trip there, because you might just run into some unfamiliar faces. If you're after some other excitement, the Ghost Dunes located in Naucus Labyrinthus and Hellas Basin is the one for you. The region accommodated exceptionally tall 40 to 75 meter high dunes during the planet's early years. As the red planet continued to evolve, these dunes became flooded by lava or water. According to scientists, the sheltered areas of these dunes could be a safe haven for microorganisms, shielding them from the intense winds and radiation that torments life on the planet. Interestingly, scientists reckon that the ghost dunes could also house humans, at least for the first few months of our time in the Martian world. Looking to explore a rare terrain that you wouldn't find anywhere on Earth? Head straight to the Ioni Chaos. You might want to hold on firmly to your camera as you make your way through the long, rugged cliffs and pillar-like hills that dominate the region. The Ioni Chaos extends across 120 miles and is a terrain that is widely believed to have formed via the removal of subsurface water or ice, resulting in flooding at the surface and the formation of Valles Marinaris. Before you wrap up your tour of the Martian world, there are 2 more craters to be visited, Becquerel and Newcomb. The Becquerel crater should look more familiar, given that it's with rocks made of sulfate. The same cannot be said for the Newcomb crater, but it's a historic site nonetheless that dates back around 3.9 billion years ago. However, to be able to visit any of the sites mentioned above, we must solve the biggest problems of the Mars mission, or we die before we even set foot on the red planet.